COVID-19 is a global crisis and a real wake-up call nationally in terms of how we think about globally working together to respond. What are the learnings that we can take away from or that are starting to emerge in terms of how global communities work closely together?
The reality is that we are all in this together. New York City is the epicenter of this pandemic, and we have 8.5 million people throughout our 5 boroughs. What it is right now is about asking for help, and what we are seeing is that we are getting that help. And I think that speaks to the global ties that New York City has. We have some of the most diverse communities throughout our 5 boroughs, and you are seeing countries around the world, communities around the world, really standing up and supporting New York City. My primary, sort of takeaway from this moment is the importance of strong multilateral institutions and global cooperation. And I will say, through the de Blasio administration and the work that I've been doing as Commissioner for International Affairs, we have understood the importance of this. Right now, previously, I've been really focused on climate change, gender equity, on issues related to migration. But COVID-19 has just really sort of reaffirmed the importance of what it means to have strong global cooperation and multilateral institutions like the UN. My office created what's called the Voluntary Local Review a couple of years ago. We believe very strongly in the values of the Sustainable Development Goals and understanding that this is a framework for us to talk about issues like a health crisis, like climate change, to be able to exchange best practices beyond borders. And so this has really sort of heightened that work for us in terms of how we're able to interact with our counterparts in other countries and to be able to exchange best practices. And so this is really a moment, and I just mentioned this earlier, but what we're learning here in New York City is going to be important to Singapore. It's going to be important to Oregon, and what we need to ensure is that we have those lines of communication, and that is something that we have very much focused on to ensure that we are communicating what is working and what is not working. And there is a lot of potential moving beyond this pandemic, how we come together as a community related to climate action, to migration. So I'm really excited about what we're going to hopefully take away from this post the pandemic.